Sports have been a monumental part of society for centuries now. There's many variations of sports that one can participate in and truly feel a part of, sometimes even giving people purpose in life, whether it be playing the sport itself or simply rooting for a team. Due to the competitive nature in sports, the biggest question that arises within each sport is, who is the greatest of all time? Tom Brady is considered the GOAT of football, Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball, I don't want to hear it LeBron fans, Messi is the GOAT of football, and so on and so forth. There's so many different people in their fields who we consider GOATs that completely dominate their sport. But what if I were to tell you that I was a GOAT in a field? That's right. If this event was a real sport, I could easily be the greatest of all time. No debate. You know how Ronaldo and Messi have a debate, even though it really shouldn't be a debate? In my field, I'm undisputably the greatest of all time. My stats are untouchable, my records are unbreakable, and my trophy cabinet can honestly be a trophy house because I was that good. Now, what is this event that I speak of, even though it's in the title? If fumbling baddies were a sport. Even though I'm retired now, since I got a little boo thing on my side, in my prime, I was dominant. Ain't nobody touching me. I was the GOAT amongst GOATs. That's how good I was in my day. In fact, you want to know how professional I was at fumbling? I used to fumble so bad, to the point that I reached out to my younger cousin to wish him a happy new year, and the first thing he responded to me with was this. So trust me when I tell you that I'm the GOAT. MJ who? Michael Phelps who? Nothing compared to me, honestly. Still don't believe that I'm the GOAT of fumbling? Gather around the campfire, let me tell you a few tales of some of my greatest fumbles in the history of fumbling. Alright, so boom. One of my greatest feats was back in high school. Your boy was 17 at the time, and I was still in my goofball phase, trying to figure out life and who I was as a person. During that time, like every other high school adolescent, there was a cute girl that I liked. Let's call her Violet. You see, Violet was an amazing person. She was that typical schoolgirl that everyone wanted to get with, and I was that guy in the movie that sorta had a chance with her, but didn't believe in himself to do anything at first. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, Violet and I texted back and forth one night, and I asked if she wanted to go to the library on a study date, because, I have strict foreign parents, and I couldn't go anywhere unless it was school, practice, or the library. After going back and forth, she was actually down to come with me. The 17-year-old me couldn't believe she said yes, even though she was like the popular girl that would be friends with everyone that treated her nicely. So in hindsight, maybe I was overreacting. Anyway, she and I met at a library, and when I tell you the signs were there to make a damn move, So we're just sitting, doing homework and junk, and after an hour, I noticed Violet was starting to stare at me. In fact, she was staring at me a little too hard. At first, I tried not to look because I didn't want to seem weird. Maybe I was imagining the whole thing. However, when I looked, she was staring at me. I nervously asked if everything was okay. She smiled and pushed our books to the side to grab my hands and lock them together. Here's the thing. I was sweating hard. Okay, I had zero clue what was going on. Was I being pranked? Who paid her to do this? Perhaps I was dreaming, but nope. All of it was 100% real. She then asked me how long have I been interested in her, and like the simp I was back then, I said, ever since I met you. I don't know why, but she giggled and was like, "Aw, you're so adorable." At this point, I was through the roof. I wasn't expecting her to do any of this. What happened next, however, was even crazier. My dad called me and asked me to come home because he needed me or something, I don't know. And as I'm about to leave, Violet stops me to give me a long hug. Like, really long. Then we're staring into each other's eyes and each other's arms, and she kept on staring at me as if she wanted me to do or say something, and I just stared back at her like an idiot. I felt a little awkward, so I broke up the hug and I said, "Okay, see you later." And she was like, okay. As I'm driving home, it dawns upon me that she wanted me to kiss her, and I give myself the biggest facepalm. I texted her almost immediately and I asked, "Did you want me to kiss you back then?" Then she said, "Yeah, duh, obviously." Following week, when I went back to school, everything went back to normal and I never got another chance. Fumbled. And if you think that story was bad, just wait, it gets worse. Much worse. Anyway, during my early college days, and I've made this pretty clear throughout my channel, I used to be a very shy person. And because I was shy, this resulted in prime fumbling. However, the reason I fumbled wasn't because I was too shy, but the reason I fumbled was because I was too arrogant. Let me explain. I was a freshman in college a few years ago, and there was this nice girl. Let's call her Rose. Anyway, Rose was pretty and had a nice personality, if you know what I mean. But there was one problem. Her best friend Naya. Let's just say Naya and I hated each other. More so, she hated me and I didn't really care. To put a long story short, your boy was a munch because Rose was feeling me and she dropped her snap. Even though Naya tried to badmouth me, Rose ended up wanting to kick it still, and I was down. In fact, I think I told this story on my channel. Let me get the footage real quick.
Until 2 weeks later, she hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to study together in the library? And I'm like, sure.
It's true, she and I decided to study together in the library on some study date type junk, but I never mentioned the end of the date in the story. So after we finished with studying, we went to get some beverages and had some conversation, the typical things such as our majors, interests, etc. Soon the topic of relationship status came up and she asked if I was single. I said, yeah, I'm single, just chilling, what about you? She responded, really? Same. Then she asked, and bear with me because you're gonna cringe pretty bad, if she wanted me to come over to her place and kick it since her roommate was gone for the weekend. I looked her dead in her face and said, nah. Now hold your horses. I was actually really tired and exhausted that day and I really wanted to sleep and I didn't think she was interested in me at that time. She was so puzzled and taken back and I was confused because I had zero idea she'd be even remotely interested in me. Fast forward a few days later and I learned from the grapevine that not only did she like me, but thought I was an idiot for not seeing the signs since I told our mutual friends that I didn't think she was feeling me. The roughest part of all of it is that she's actually justified. The reason being is because I left out a huge detail on purpose. Not only did she give me her snap and offer to go get drinks, but she bought mine. She told me get whatever you want on the menu on some sugar baby type junk. When I found out about all this, all I could do was fall to my knees. Like, bruh. I told y'all, man, professional bag fumbler. I was second to none in my day. But this last statistic I'm about to show y'all, nobody tops. This story will be very familiar if you've seen the Diary of a College Kid series on my channel. Anyway, I've mastered the art of fumbling so bad to the point that I can literally do nothing incorrectly. It won't even be my fault, and I'll still end up fumbling. Fumbling was so easy, you would have thought I could do it in my sleep. Anyway, let me explain. Essentially, I met a girl on my college campus during a fire drill. We conversed and chatted for a bit, but nothing came of it until a few days later. She leaves a bag of candy with a cool note on it, and I'll leave a photo on the screen so you guys can read it. Got it? Good? Okay, let's move on. I thought that the best way to charm her up was to go on a double date with my friend Jared and his coworker, but spoiler alert, it was a terrible idea. So we all met up and the night was cool at first until we left the restaurant. After we ate at the restaurant, we decided to go to the beach to chill. As we were driving, Jared's coworker decided it'd be best to cuss out Jared while we were all in the car, for a really dumb reason. Jared and her yelled back and forth for no reason, and my date looked petrified listening to what they were saying. She looked like she was scared for her life, and I couldn't blame her. Some of the things that were said were so nuts that even I can't repeat. She had the look of, you hang out with these people? Type look, and I couldn't do anything to defend it because I didn't even know who Jared's coworker was. Regardless, the night ended terribly, and I didn't talk to her much more after that, and that boat completely sailed. Fumbled. You see, I didn't even do anything wrong on that date, and I still fumbled. I can't make this up. I skipped a few details though about this date, and if you want more context, I'll link the story to the top right of the screen right now. But that's it, y'all. If fumbling baddies were a sport, I'd easily be the greatest of all time in my day and age. However, I am retired as I happily got a boo thing on my side. I'm confident and brave, so we up now, kings. But in my prime, nobody surpassed me. In fact, I'll pose a challenge to you, kings. If you comment down your biggest fumble with the girl and I deem it as even on the same tier as my fumbles, I'll pin your L. But don't worry, even kings like you gotta take L's from time to time, so let me know. Thanks for everything as of late, and until we meet again, have a wonderful day, keep it 100, and I'm out. Peace.